Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me because I made this whole video and there were some issues. So I'm going to make it with a little bit of focus. I want to address the Charlie Kirk incident from an astrology standpoint, not from whatever his political views are. But for those of you who are contemplating getting into astrology, numerology, or the life of a shaman, astrology, numerology, and shamanism can give you insights into a person's life that most people don't have. And one of those insights is even in the death cycle, meaning how they could die, what events would lead to their death. And in his case, again, I don't know this man, never followed anything that he has done, never really heard him say whatever he has said. He's a younger person, so not really someone I would really know of. But because of all the things, I went back to look and see, because I went and looked at two things. I'm like, okay, let me look at a couple of things, and especially the death aspect of it. And again, I looked at what would potentially cause his death. And according to the astrology portion of it, his death would be caused while he was speaking at an institution in an explosive or violent manner. That's the nature of how his death was. You do some people's death thing, and it would come up that the thing that would kill them would be an intestinal thing, something. It gives specifics, things associated with heads. It's really specific when you read the energy that's in the combining the nakshatras, the dashas, and the konas, and you read those together, you get this information. And then you also get the career path of what would the person do for money, for a career in life. And his career path, the thing that would bring him money, would be orating, planning, speaking, demonstrating in institutions, having children or disciples follow him, and easy money through social activities. Those were the things that were his highlight. And again, higher learning. And charities showed up, by the way. And so he made his money by having a charity, and that charity involved him going to speak at higher institutions, universities, and interacting with people on these other social platforms. That's how he made his money. Okay. So those are the two things I looked at. I looked at some other stuff, including the fact that his natal chart, his current chart, had returned to its natal position, which for me always indicate a state of death. And then he also had the other two factors of death. I look at a couple of things to indicate death. And when I say death, it's not always the physical, but it is most definitely a spiritual, or something being cut out of the life. And this happened right after the lunar eclipse and the full moon, that kind of energy. So if you're actually considering walking this path, I encourage you to, when these different events happen, look at charts and try to glean the information from them that you can use to understand, not excuse. You have to take yourself out of it. You can't be like this person was good or bad or the other. You have to take yourself out of it and look at the different charts and the energy that's there, and that will assist you with your ability to interpret the astrology, numerology, astronumerology charts. As a shaman, I deal specifically with spirits. Of course, I'm not dealing with his spirits. I don't open myself up to that kind of thing. But I also deal with reincarnation. And I look at energy that causes a person to be who they are in this point. And so I look at everything and I see that there was something that showed up in his chart about a father being absent to a child under the age of 6. So that could either have been he didn't have his father in his life as much after, in early stages, or what's happening now, any children he has under the age of 6 will have an eclipse of some energy because he's not available. There's a lot of reasons that people lives turn out the way they turn out. And I know everybody has a reason for it. But from the astrology, numerology, the shaman side of it, there's a whole separate set of reasons, right? And every last one of us has this type of blueprint. You can even see in a person's the death reading, you can see things like a person dying from intestinal disorder, a person dying from cancer, a person dying from an explosive impact. Those types of information are readily available if you know how to read the energy. Um, I know most people only look at, will I marry this person or will I date that person? But life is more than about that one section. Um, so, and I'm giving you the short version of this because although I did look at his chart for like 2 hours, one, I'm not going to give you some of it because it's really personal. And then two, in order for me to get all of the information that I would like to get from it, I would have had to spend more time on every aspect of his charts, his, astrology, numerology, and do the spiritual interaction. And it's not worth that for me. It's only worth it for me to be able to teach you guys who are thinking about walking along this path. Okay?